everyone, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. I just noticed something right before we was coming on that upbeat music that we have with that stuff flying in, and I look up top and I read the what this show is supposed to be about, and it says Arn Andeson, Tommy Rich, and Tully Blanchard. I didn't spell Anderson right. It's Anderson.
Well, as many ways as people have pronounced it over the years, that's about right.
Well, at least it was Arn. I didn't Iron. Whatever, David Crockett.
Iron. Yeah, Iron. Iron Anderson.
Iron Anderson. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. Jack Lord, Rodney West. I'm Brent West, and we're going to be talking top 100 wrestlers. We're down to now 53, 54, 55. If you're Facebook, if you follow our Facebook page, you'll know which three mine is. I just told you because I evidently need a spell checker to check my stuff. Now I don't even know where I was going. Where was I going with this? What we're going to is Friday, March 18th. If you've not seen anything, go to livechampionshipwrestling.com. We're going to be in Knoxville, Tennessee, at the Old City Performing Arts Center. It's going to be a great night. Old school wrestling.
I hate to interject, but then I'm going to anyway. So here we go. I had an opportunity to talk to Les Thatcher and this past weekend, and let me tell you, at first he was a little bit. He's like, I'm a little leery about this, and then I started to lay out what we expect and what we're doing with this thing, and he said the more I talked to him, explain what our vision was, what our idea was, he got more excited as the moments were on. He said, I'm really excited, but I've got to go. The guy's waiting on me at the gym. He said, so he's excited about it. Like I said, he was a little apprehensive. He had some questions. And so I had an opportunity to talk to him and to really lay out what we expect and what it's going to be. And I can assure you of this, ladies and gentlemen, that if you think you're tuning in to watch the other 15 hours, the nonsense that's on television now, you're going to be in for a shock because this is going to be nothing like that.
I think I don't know, Jack, and before we get into the top 100 wrestlers, I want to ask this question. Wrestling is getting what they consider wrestling today. I'm talking about WWE, Ring of Honor, AEW, Impact, or whoever else is out there. Is it not getting further and further away from professional wrestling and whatever it is today?
I would class today's greater wrestling landscape as being more performance art than I would professional wrestling. The whole thing about our day was getting it across as legitimate. Now, we weren't nobody was out there trying to knock you in the head, trying to convince you that what we did was real. We just did it in a way that, brought those fans inside. And the numbers that we used to draw, both in gate attendance and TV ratings, tells me that we were doing pretty good. Because even though, stuff rated good now, it's nothing compared to what it used to be.
Well, shall I cause everyone on our roster that's going to be appearing? Shall I cause their head explode here just a second? Let me be very clear. If you're coming to our show so you can showcase your character and not yourself, you just as well to stay at home because we're not doing that. When you come, you're not playing a role. You're not an actor. You are a wrestler. We're going to talk about what you have done in your life, where you come from, actual city, and we're going to be. We're going to be producing you. We're going to be spotlighting you, not some character or some fictitious idea of what you think yourself is. This is going to be you, and I think that's going to be most
a character by being yourself.
Yes.
And that's just the pure simple fact about it. You and then you find yourself But if you're trying to start with a character to begin with, because let's be honest, if you go to WWE and you're not going to be whatever character you are right now anyway.
No,
They're going to change you. They're going to change your name. They're going to call you something else, whatever it may be. Somebody said it's a comedy show. That's one thing. Championship Wrestling will not be. It will not be a comedy. It will be a sports show, and it will be treated like it's a sports show. So, just respect for the wrestling business. Respect.
And honestly, our folks, they understand that they're there to showcase wrestling abilities and get things over in that ring in that manner. I think really the only hard part any of our folks are going to have is adjusting to the fact that those matches are going to be going back to back. There's not going to be entrance music. So guys who are refusing to go out to the ring, and I've seen this, we're not going to have that issue. No. But I have been to other shows where guys absolutely refuse to go to the ring because their music wasn't right. I stood behind a guy last year and pushed him through the curtain.
It's amazing, and I think that they have focused on producing. I'm just going to say it, the fake, to the point where it has delegitimized their products to the point where nobody cares. And as I explained to Les Saturday, this is going to be more like what they do with American Idol and with The Voice. You don't know those people, but now over the next couple of weeks, you're going to become to know them. You're going to understand where they came from. You're going to understand what their struggles have been, what their desires are, what their dreams are, and you're going to be able to go with them on that journey through the, as we call it, the quest to become and hold that belt right here. My belt, of course. I expect no fingerprints on my belt. That's another story.
Let's go ahead and we're going to talk top 100 wrestling. We will do that, but let's go back because a lot of people have talked about this. And yes. So let's Anita says hello to us. Let's see. Dr. Philbo Grice is also with us. How you doing? Anita said hello, guys. Richard Hood is with us as well. Hello from Southeast Alabama. He's thawing out. Southeast Alabama.
Oh boy,
and almost Michael, 70 degrees up here in the northeast corner.
Yeah, and Michael, I hope you're feeling better. I'm glad you are. I hope you are. Last time I think you were here, you had to leave early, and we're just glad to have you.
Anita, hello everyone. Terry, Richard Hood says Terry Gordy, 53. Wendy Harkins, evening guys. Hope all is well. Recovering from my son turning 18.
My middle daughter turns 18 the end of this year, and
was it an emotional situation? I got to we got to find out. Was it emotional? It was. Did you cry a lot? What happened there?
William Klein, love the new content. We went back and forth a little bit on YouTube the other day. We're talking about Jerry Jarrett and Nick Goulas, and he had some great comments about it, and then we went back and forth for a while and talked a little bit about it.
Can we see that you do that? Now, those comments, are they where we could see them on YouTube? We could find the video. And what video would that be on?
It's the one that we reviewed. I can't remember whose book it was.
Oh, you mean that toilet paper that they call the Book of Memphis or whatever it was?
Yeah, I think I have that book here. I think I have, but I got it underneath my table over here, holding up some stuff.
Well, I'll definitely have to check that out. I want to see what side he took.
It's a great book, by the way. We're going to go through it again, and we're going to look at.
It's one-sided.
It is a little one-sided. Hello, gentlemen. I hope y'all are doing well. From Joe Charles, he says 53, 55 Arn Anderson, 54 Brad Armstrong. Kevin Penley says, I want to challenge Rodney to a scooter race.
Well,
Rodney, did you see that? Did you see that last night?
Yes, I did. I watched that. Actually, had to see it twice because I will honestly say I fell asleep during the show. So I had to start it all over and go back again because it was. They
had a scooter race on.
Yes.
Well, of course they are. It's honestly, WWE.
Yeah, honestly though, Randy Orton and Riddle, best thing they have going on the show, and they're going to degrade them down to nothing more but the common routine of Martin and Lewis or Abbott and Costello. It's just
And next week is the infamous mini bump taking quiz bowl.
okay.
By the way, folks, Knoxville, Tennessee, March 18th will not be comedy. And when you watch it on YouTube, it says tradition times innovation. And you'll see why when you watch the YouTube shows. It's going to be in 4K. That's the one thing that will be. That's the reason it's going to be on YouTube. No comedy. If there's comedy, it ain't because we meant for there to be
It's
comedy.
unintentional.
You know, I mean, somebody may fall over the top rope. I don't know. That could happen. You know, Chief Joe Lightfoot did that in Knoxville, Tennessee, at the Coliseum. Jumped over the top rope, took his foot right on there, top rope. He fell on the floor, looked over, and thought Rodney had tripped him. I grabbed a hold of him.
I can promise you that there will be no run-ins from the three of us, or in my case, a roll-in.
That's true. And if we do throw a punch, I'm hoping it looks better than Shane's. That's just all I'm.
I seen a dead beaver throw a better punch.
Rita Cantrell said, hello, guys. Brad Armstrong, number 54. Brad Brad could really be number one.
Yes, he really could.
Was that good. He was that good. He knew his role when he was in the ring. That's the thing about wrestling today. They've forgotten when you were in that ring, you had to know where you were at in the match. If you were the third match, you knew what to do in that third match. You knew not to go out there and do a bunch of stuff. So the main event had nothing to do. And Michael Barr, it has become a comedy or part of it. Yes, it has. The parody wrestling now, I believe.
I believe that Mr. Cornette has come over to our side about the entrance music lasting forever and ever and ever. And like I've said before, it's nothing but time killer.
Kevin Penley said Raw is horrible. It doesn't resemble wrestling. They put their best wrestlers with comedy acts. Anita,
Yes.
comedy show. Again,
Yes.
no comedy on our show, except for here. You know, when we do this Tuesday night, there'll be some comedy, but not. Hello all from Glen Allen Shelton. By the way, so people understand too, after the show on March 18th, I don't remember the date now. I think it's the following Monday, the 28th. It will be on. We'll be showing stuff on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not.
And the thing is this is focused on being a sports show. It is not a comedy show. It is not a drama. It is not a situation comedy that just placed in a wrestling background. No, this is what we grew up with, and that's what we intend. And as I have said before, if I have to produce today's product, I'll just take my money and go on a cruise.
I want to do that as well, but that's all right. At least no one back in the kayfabe cage rode scooters and a race back then. Yeah, this is true. It's true. I can't even believe they did that. As you know, so they didn't even ask me because they knew I didn't watch it. So I didn't. Well, I watched bits and pieces, but I haven't had time. So Paul said, "Good answer, Jack. Performance art, gymnastic meet, bring back old school wrestling." I was doing a getting ready and doing some stuff. And you think, well, you're doing stuff this early, but I'm working on some stuff. And when I was putting it together, I said, this is pro wrestling. And I think that is going to be the thing that people are going to, this is pro wrestling. It's not whatever it is today. This is what if you watched it in the 70s, 80s,
and the wrestlers that we have coming today, I think they're up for the challenge.
I think so too.
I think they're excited about the challenge. This is not the same humdrum. Do I have to do the somersault into the corner, up onto the ring post, hit the lights, and come back down and land and plant the feet down, and then the crowds hold up tens for the performance.
Yeah.
5. At one time, there was a group that came to, I think it was WWE, that were bringing their signs and they were giving them scores.
I still see that happen occasionally.
They basically killed Randy Orton's career with the Scooter Kid, Kevin Penn.
I don't know that they've killed his career. I mean, he's right there in the thick of everything that's going on. He's collecting a paycheck. So,
but if you look at their tag matches with Randy Orton Jr. and the Riddler, this is classic tag team wrestling. The Riddle is out there. He's doing most of the work basically, and then gives that hot tag to Randy. At least there is a glimpse of what wrestling used to be there.
But we talk about that. We talk about, well, if you're coming to what this is the thing. If you're a WWE fan, you're gonna love that. You're gonna love the product we're gonna produce. I mean, you're gonna love it. Now, it's not gonna be comedy, but I think people love wrestling. I think even the WWE fans like to see a good wrestling match. I think they do, and
they appreciate the effort for sure.
Yes. Michael Barr, I do not plan on having my character ruined.
Well, that's good.
How much tickets? Tickets are $25. There is only 192 seats inside this place. So make sure if you get your tickets, it's a very small venue, but you have to have a small venue if you're doing old school studio wrestling. So it's a very small venue. So make sure if you want to get your tickets, go ahead and get your tickets now. And that way you can get into.
Did you tell them how much?
$25 each. And all the press releases got sent out today. So they're all in Knoxville, Tennessee right now. So if you're going to travel in and see us. If you're there, travel in and see us. Knoxville's a good place to visit. So you got
Knoxville's a great place. Knoxville's always been a great wrestling town. It's just it's a great place to live too. We love living when we live there.
Chris Baxter, is there a wrestling business left?
No one with the intent. No company that's producing a program with a ring in it that's producing wrestling. And so, absolutely, at this point,
not on the national or world level. No.
But there is, and the guys that are they want, they want to do something. They want to be able to do something different, be innovative in a way that people talk. So listen, you got to watch that. You got to watch what they did, and I think all the wrestlers, I think they want to do great stuff. I mean, if you watch AJ Styles and what's the Austin Theory? I watched a match with them, and I thought that was a tremendous match. It told a great story. Austin Theory did a great job in the match. So I think they still want to go out there and have these great matches. They want to remember they want to have a Bret Hart Owen Hart match. They want to have a Shawn Michaels Steve Austin match. They want to have those type of matches, and they're just not allowed to do it. Nita. Well, they bring a sports show to Dothan, and then bring a sports show to Dothan, Alabama, real professional. We have been talking to some folks.
That would be like a dream to me to bring wrestling to Dothan. And Dothan, another great town, great memories there.
Somebody messaged me the other day that said there was a movement going on. They were trying to save the farm center.
Wow. Okay.
I could see that because that's the memory.
Certainly be nice to put some events in there to give them a reason to do that.
Yes, this is true. Lucha Libre has hurt American wrestling. It's dives galore now. Yes.
Well, I mean, Lucha Libre style.
Yes.
Lucha Libre itself has been around, for 50, 60 years.
And do you remember the first time we saw it?
I didn't understand when I first.
We had no clue about what they were doing. We said, "What is this?" Especially in tag matches. We had no idea what was going on. And that was back in the day. That's back when you could put the big satellite dish and you could see it from Mexico. Yep. And we watched it, and we there was one referee we really liked there. It was quite entertaining. We didn't understand what was going on.
I would love to see the ratings between the so-called shows now and what Continental done back in the day. Very good, by the way. Southeastern Wrestling, Continental Wrestling, Dothan, Alabama, did better ratings than the news. There it is. So it was an incredible numbers. No one from parts unknown on the card.
Oh, Charles, but that's what I want so bad. And we're going to get it one way or the other. I'm going to have somebody from parts unknown.
Fellows, this new product is all Hollywood. Yes, I would agree with that. Too much Hollywood, actually. Anita, they need to have someone to bring a sports professional wrestling to Dothan, Alabama. I think we already.
And we would love to do that. Boy, that would be some good eating there too. It would be extravaganza. It's just we always incorporate our trips with eating. By the way,
yes. We're in Birmingham. Dreamland Barbecue is in the process of Tuscaloosa.
That's right.
What we see today is nothing nowhere like kayfabe days of pro. Agree. That's agree. That's what we are trying, and we are going to do our best to present pro wrestling. I will say that they are great athletes today. Doesn't necessarily make them great professional wrestlers. Paul, that's true. Kevin Penley said Lucha Libre has done American wrestling no favors with all the dives. By the way, Michael said that he is doing much better, Rodney. So
I'm glad, Michael.
63 waiting for Ice Storm here.
Oh boy.
Chris Baxter. All of the in-ring talent is being blamed for the on-air product. The blame rests on the doormat of developmental practices.
I 100% right. Agree with you totally. And we make this point pretty often that we don't blame any of today's talent. It's not their fault. They're doing everything they're told to do. They don't have an option out there.
No. They're doing what they're told to do, and that's I think they want to have good matches. I think they're wanting to go out there and have wrestling matches.
I think there's honestly a lot of folks that are on active rosters out there today that could do old school wrestling. They're just not allowed to.
No, and I think they want to.
Let me. I'm gonna stir it up a little more. Let's be honest. When you go to work for one of them, they don't allow you to develop your name over the years. When you leave there, you leave what they've developed right there with them. So you get to start all over again. And what we're talking about is the same way that Dick Murdoch, Dusty Rhodes, they developed that over the years. That was them. It was nobody else. And so it's not going to be like that at all. It's going to be them.
Dusty Rhodes was Dusty Rhodes.
Yes, he was. Even though he changed his name, but when you talk to Dusty, same as you talk to him in the back. Tommy Rich was the same way. Even Ole, except Ole used profanity profusely. Other than that, Ole was exactly the same. Dutch Mantell, Bill Dundee, Jerry Lawler, all the same inflections. They didn't put on anything. Now, there were some that did. Ivan Koloff, for example, and Baron Von Raschke. But other than that, back then it's Johnny Valentine, Greg Valentine, Ricky Steamboat. If you
Adrian Street.
Yes, if you
was just the same in the back as he was in the ring.
I believe even worse.
Yeah.
Wahoo McDaniel
was
the exact same guy.
Tony Atlas, yes.
Tony Atlas. They were all the same people, and look how well they got over.
And they were able to make that. Well, Jackie Fargo, if you talk to him in the back, talk to him in the front, same exact thing.
Now at the same time, Jackie Fargo, you got to watch it. He used a lot of that profanity as well. So
yes,
he might have been a little bit more crazier in person than he was wrestling.
toned it down some.
I think he toned it down a little bit.
Keep the censors and kept the TV on the air.
Lane Crooks said, "Hey friends, hello to you."
Hey,
Rick
Lane.
Brooks says, "Hello guys, go
Bengals."
Hey, they got a great kicker from Alabama just right up the road from me, so I'm pulling for the Bengals this time.
I missed the business like it was when I was a kid. Guys like the ones in the video, this is what the business is about. Thank you for keeping the business live and real. Thank you for everything. Well, thank you, Joe. That's our deal. I was thinking, somebody asked me the other day, they said, well, what are you doing this show? Why do you want to do a wrestling show? And one time I said to myself, and I know all Jack and Rodney both know this. I said, I'll never promote another wrestling match in my life. But when my father passed away, when Dad passed away, I started thinking that what he did and the stuff that he went through, fighting all the way back to the dressing room, coming out of the buildings and having people surround him because Tony Atlas didn't win the World Heavyweight Championship. Just this the stuff that he had to do, kicking people when they came in the ring, fighting people when they got in the ring, just all that stuff. And I'm thinking, if
and that was due to the passion that the fans felt for the product.
yes, yeah, I'm not saying that. I remember we were in Porterdale, Georgia. The Freebirds were going against, I believe it could have been Ted DiBiase and Tommy Rich. I don't remember who they was wrestling against. But a guy grabbed a hold of Michael Hayes' leg. And when they did, Terry Gordy got out of there and stomped that boy and stomped him so much that he had blood coming out of the sides of his
I felt bad for that old guy.
I mean, he beat him real bad. And this guy was all messed up, and they had took him into this little office, and the guy was going, no, don't do nothing to him. I don't want to press charges against them. He said, I just got into it. I know what they're doing. He told me, he said, I know it's just a show. He said, but man, they made me mad. So I jumped on him. He said, but no, don't do nothing to him. It just, that's the passion though.
And the Freebirds had to escape from the building.
Yes, they did. People were coming back with guns, by the way. But that's the kind of thing, and I thought, if somebody does it, the way wrestling is right now, it's getting so far away from wrestling. If something's not done, and let's be honest, we don't think we're going to be the huge, big wrestling company. That's not what we want to just produce a wrestling show that wrestling fans that were wrestling fans in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, even in the 90s, can watch it and say, you know what? And they can bring their kids in and say, this is what I enjoyed watching. And this is the emotional. We want people to have an emotional connection. And that's what we had with wrestling too. And Bearcat Brown and Jackie Fargo and Tojo Yamamoto and the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express, Bill Dundee, Jerry Lawler. We just, am I right? Is that what we're missing? Is that emotional connection?
That's exactly what we're missing.
It's just, I think they're still good wrestlers.
They don't. I don't, and it's terrible to say, and I don't like to talk bad about their fans, but those fans do not care about the people in that ring at all. They do not have all they want to see the crash.
If you ever go to some of their stuff that they write in these fan forum stuff, you'll see they don't care about anything. I mean, those people are not nice people.
Wow.
Yes, it was emotional, Rodney. He said he's my youngest son, so yes, I did cry.
Oh, wow.
CJ Goodspeed. Hey guys, first time joining.
Hey, welcome aboard, CJ.
What numbers are we on? We're at 53, 54, and 55, and we will get to that. We just got we just got into really. We went down a rabbit hole
again. No, it's not a rabbit hole. This is the passion.
Yes.
This is the reason that we're going there, and we can see that it's your passion as well. This is the reason we're going to Knoxville on the 18th. And what we come out with, we don't know. We don't know. We hope, but we don't know. We don't know. We don't know who's going to shine in this. It's completely a gamble. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's the wrestler. Who's going to go out there and make an impact. And they make impact the way they want to make impact with certain guidelines. But my number 555.
That's right.
I knew what he meant. My 555.
Yes.
Is Izzy Slapowitz. I put Izzy Slapowitz on my 555.
All right.
Just because I like the name Izzy Slapowitz. Mr. Saito. 54, Tim Woods, 53, Stan Hansen.
My favorite name was Jose Luis Rivera.
Number 53, Stan Hansen. Yes, spell check. The only problem is my spell check probably thought it was Andeson.
This afternoon, I was thinking, of course, as always, when I was growing up, did I want to be world champion? And the Really, no, I didn't want to be the world champion. I wanted to be the Georgia heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
That was my dream, to be the Georgia heavyweight champion. I was really not interested in the other because all my favorites was the Georgia champion, and there wasn't a bad one there that I can remember.
No. Number 53, the Junkyard Dog. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to go ahead because we're going to run out of time. I'm going to go ahead and Rodney and Jackie will. I'll just say number 53. Number 55, Tully Blanchard. Number 54, Tommy Rich. A lot of people do not believe Tommy Rich should be there, but they wasn't in Georgia. They wasn't in Continental during the time that Tommy Rich was there. Drew a lot of money. People loved him. And number 53, Arn Anderson. Rodney, 53, 54, 55.
I'm about to blow you right out of the water tonight. Number 55 is a man that when he walked out of that dressing room, he goes to the ring, and no matter what capacity he was in, he's going to give you 100% and always going to be a show stealer. Talking about good friend Pork Chop Cash. Just an awesome wrestler. A total missed opportunity when Troy Graham got his leg hurt or back hurt, whatever happened to him. Just awful thing. Another one that drew wherever he went. And my first recollection was him against Bob Armstrong, selling out for Nick Goulas all over Tennessee. Is the Mongolian Stomper, Archie Goldie. And number 53 is another one that we really didn't get to see a lot of in person. But when we did, we thought once again, after his match, there's no need to have any others after that. And that's Ken Lucas, number 53.
Yes. I don't think of Ken Lucas. See, I forgot about Ken Lucas and what's such a
Ken Lucas is the epitome of what we're talking about doing here. The master of the sleeper hold. Tremendous man. Again, there's no acting in that. When you saw him talk, he was very believable because he was being himself, and that was important. And Ken Lucas was no better than Ken Lucas.
Yeah, and the reason we know he was self, we were sitting, and he was in the car, and the same interview that he would do against Rip Rogers, he was doing against some of the owners of Southeastern Wrestling at the time, and we were thinking, well, I think he might be a little hot. I believe he might be a little hot, and that's after he had a accident with Wayne Ferris. It was Wayne Ferris' wife, and Ken Lucas had an accident coming back from some town. I can't remember where it was at. We were there. We saw it. We saw the car. I guess it was a van, and he was a little upset because he was having to do something with Jimmy Golden, showing him the sleeper hold. And I think Jimmy Golden was going to start using the sleeper hold.
Yes, he did. And
he's a little deep about that.
Well, he was going to go against the world champion. Jimmy was, and so he was learning the sleeper hold.
Yeah, and now the one thing that Jimmy Golden did a little different. He put that scissor hold.
Yeah, I got scissor hold on that man right there. When I put that hold on him, I'll hold him right in the middle of the ring there.
Yeah. All right, check. 55, 54, 53.
My 55 is Bruiser Brody.
Yes.
54 is Stan the Lariat Hansen.
That's been said by our
several folks.
Everybody agrees with that. I don't care. I think everybody agrees with that.
Yeah. And my 53 is Frank Gotch.
Well, there you go. So that's people don't think about him.
Innovator of the gotcha. He's great.
Viewed as one of the great catch wrestlers, probably the greatest of the 20th century.
And that was the most, when he was going, that was the purest form of the wrestling business at the time. And we're probably not going all the way back there, but still tremendous because I would say that mostly was a total shoot in most cases.
53, the Junkyard Dog from Michael Barr. Agree with that. Junkyard
Even
Dog
though a character, JYD, but that personality, his personality came out, and that connection between he and the fans was absolutely unbreakable. Even if Bill Watts tried to do it, he could not break that connection between Junkyard Dog and the fans.
I know I saw it too late from Kevin Penley. Brad is in my top 100 from Richard Hood.
Top 10. No, he was in the top 10.
Oh, top 10. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Well, Richard, I think everybody respects Brad's ability. They just wish they had that ability. Some people today. Go ahead.
Too bad Brad got stuck with all the dumb characters. He did get stuck with some Lulus.
And the thing about it is he could not do the characters because he did not know them. He knew himself better. And if they would have tried to push him as him, he could have got over. And the fact of the matter is they put a microphone in his face. He could do the interview if you got out of the way and let him.
Yep. Anderson Lundy from Glen Allen Shelton. Glen Allen had one forget his interest song.
Oh my goodness. Tragedy, the end of the world, cancel the show, send everybody home.
Did McMahon sell to Disney? He sold to somebody, I believe, because that show has changed drastically.
Now, they just did a deal with Disney, but it's for their overseas markets.
Yes.
That show has changed. I mean, it's changed more into a cartoon now than it has ever been in a long time, especially NXT. I don't know what they're doing with that show. I was relating to the kayfabe not being comedy, not this show. Yeah, we understand. Glen Allen said his dad got to be flipping his grave. Vince Sr. respected wrestling, not making a joke. Glen Allen, you are correct. You are correct in that. Michael Barr, I'm curious as to when Randy is going to turn on Riddler. No telling. When is that going to happen? It's going to happen.
Well, I've heard that they're supposed to be wrestling each other at WrestleMania, but
I'm still believing it's the opposite.
I hope so.
Chris Baxter, what is the average age of the employees of the worst wrestling federation?
I would say mid-30s be your average age.
Yeah, I would think so. Chamber is next month. Is that the Chamber Elimination Chamber?
It's this month. We're into a new month today. So, yeah, it's the 19th, I think. It's a Saturday.
Yeah, good show, guys. Thank you so much, Randy. Donovan Graham is with us. Do you know the Macho Man was Lanny? Did you know the Macho Man was Lanny Poffo in the Gulf Coast mid-70s?
I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
Not surprised at all. Poffo's a lot of talent there. Just tremendous talent.
It says Brent Rodney will want you to be videotaped in Knoxville. It will be videotaped. We will try to go live. We don't know that we'll have time to go live from there. We were going to be very busy, but
the guy, we've actually got a person that's coming, TJ Burks. TJ does a lot of the better independent wrestling shows that film for IWTV and several other places that show Fight TV and places like that. He's done work for Impact Wrestling. I mean, he knows his stuff. We're getting a great guy.
Does very good camera work, and he is the one bringing his 4K equipment, so that when
Michael, you will be able to see all of the events will be coming up on YouTube as well. But it's going to take a while to get there. But you're
not going to see it all at once, folks. So
no, it won't be. It can't be done that way.
March 18th. It may take you until June. Or sometime in May before you see it all. Probably May, because we go back on May 13th. So it'll just play on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays up to the point. So if you think you're going to be able to see it in one, no, it's going to take you a while to get there.
No, there's going to be a lot of step there. It's the first 2 rounds of the tournament. So, and then the opportunity that you're going to get to know each one of these wrestlers.
Yeah, we want you to get to know them and who they are and why they started wrestling, and I think that's very important.
And their actual background. I mean, it's very
hello, everyone. Hope all is well from Victor Nash. Indie shows, best place to find wrestling, not comedy, from Glen Allen. Kevin Penley. Who would you say is the oldest wrestler still in the ring? Me?
I'm really not sure. I know I don't want to refer to him as old, but Ricky Morton is 65, 66 now, and still wrestling. Still looks good in there.
Yeah. I thought the awesome rope walking of Mike Jackson was just stellar.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Mike. Mike's like 112 now. I'm just kidding.
That's
Mike's well up in his 70s now, 73, 74.
Yes, there is a wrestling business left. It's called independent wrestling. Find it, come in your area, and go support CJ Goodspeed. And we agree with that.
Yep.
Brock is going to take down Roman and Heyman and take the title at Mania.
all right, Michael. Roman is going to get the phony corona again and pull a no-show. You're never going to see that match. He's going to be, oh, I'm sick. I can't be there.
Big dream to me, Anita. CJ also said that if Lucha Libre is done right, it can be awesome. You know, I've always said if you want to do Lucha Libre wrestling, just go get you some Lucha Libres or some luchadors.
I'll be honest. I always liked to watch Lucha Libre. I thought it was very entertaining. And now I didn't want to see it here. I love seeing it from Mexico. In fact, I've got 3 Spanish language channels on my TV, and I'm very disappointed that no Lucha Libre wrestling is on any of them.
Wow.
It's crazy. That's actually, if any wrestling is done right, it's awesome. Yes. You are correct. Telling a story. Have you anyone see MLW Aztec Lucha Underground? It's pretty good. It's on Thursday nights. I don't think I have.
I've heard about it. I haven't watched it, but I'll try to watch that, Victor. I appreciate the heads up.
Mickey said my 3 picks for this week are Wally McDaniel, Arn Anderson, and stunning Steve Austin. Yeah. Glenn, and all 3 great people.
Yes.
Victor liked Alex Hammerstone.
Yeah, Alexander Hammerstone is awesome. In fact, I sent him a friend request after I saw him because I wanted to know a guy like that. I mean, he's great.
Victor Nash, my 63, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, when he was in Georgia Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, Tony was really good.
Yeah, Chris Baxter, Go on the Road, house shows, what's now being called dark matches. It's purely and simply paying your dues. Michael Barr, wrestlers in the WF can leave and come back in a few months and be called something else. Yes, that is true. And then they wonder why they don't get over. Because people say, hey, wasn't that the Berserker last time when he was here? I think that was. Can you imagine a conversation between Ole and Cornette? Sailors everywhere with blood. Got that right. And had a few other people like Jackie Fargo in there with you. You're really going to have fun. White, Michael Husky Harris.
To Fiend.
To the Fiend, yeah.
Richard Hood, guys back then when the wrestlers weren't performing, they weren't being themselves. Victor Nash, I see Jack Rodney Britt. Did you see the Royal Rumble? Nope, I did not. Did y'all see the?
I did. I actually thought they did a really good job with it. They did some actual storytelling, setting up some good stuff. I thought I could have done without Shane McMahon's punches.
And Bad Bunny, for goodness sakes, being in the last 4 people in the
Bad Bunny got more spots in than just about anybody on the card.
I'm thinking, why would you do that? He's not even in your current roster. I guess he probably paid him. He probably paid him to be on there. Brent Rodney was true to what wrestling really meant back in the kayfabe days. Yes. Chris Baxter. Wrestling went south when the entire roster doesn't have a single scar. I mean, they are sticking 20-somethings in there.
Well, the thing is, Chris, back in the day, you had young guys in there. But you had those veteran guys that they put in there with them to teach them live in front of an actual audience, and you had to learn or burn.
Yeah, you did something too wrong. You knew, you remembered it.
That's right.
Brent and Rodney, your dad was true to it. He loved the wrestling business. He respected it, and it's just not that what we're seeing on television today is not what we grew up watching or what he even grew up watching. And you're right. You watch it and enjoy it, what you grew up on. Glenn Allen, WWF can go out 2 years, win women's Royal Rumbles. Mickey Mayfield. Anyone remember Hat Pin Sadie ringside Atlanta Municipal Auditorium? I don't think I remember her being there growing up.
There was an older lady at Columbus, Georgia. I just shared a story on my Facebook the other day about a lady in Mississippi who jumped me from behind. I was pulling Bambi's hair, and I had long hair at the time, and this grandma who's about my age now. So, but she jumps up, grabs my hair, and she's pulling. I'm looking over at security to try to come get her, and they're kind of laughing because I guess they thought it was part of the show. So I just, the best I can, I turned around and yelled, "Pull harder, Granny! We got her now!"
Oh, my youngest son to be able to experience the old school wrestling that I love from Continental and Southeastern. I think a lot of people want that. I think there's a lot of fans out there that want
I want my kids to experience.
And that was, I think, how we all got into wrestling. Our family is the one that brought us. Grandparents, parents brought us to it, and that's how we got interested in it. It's not something we found on our own. We were introduced to it.
The emotional connection we're missing is Terry Funk. Yes, he was a great heel, but he was so tough that the fans respected him so much.
Yep.
What is going on with Honky Tonk Man? I don't know, but I noticed he's went completely gray, and he looks like Grizzly Adams now.
Hopefully he stays home.
Number 53, Tully Blanchard from Michael. Tommy Rich was great. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Tommy Rich, but Tommy Rich, to me, he was that. He knew how to sell. He knew how to make the comeback. He knew what he was doing, and had great matches.
You're exactly right, Gordon.
Number 55, Tommy Rich, Richard Hood,
Just
Rodney.
like I said.
I also wanted to be Georgia champion, Georgia heavyweight champion. Michael Barr said, good choice. Pork Chop Cash. Michael, number 54, Wahoo McDaniel. Glenn Allen Shelton, the Missouri state champion. That's who Glenn Allen
who he wanted to be. And I think that's where we had that connection with us in those, back in the days with Georgia or wherever you grew up at. You just wanted to be that the state champion or whatever. It's just great.
Ken Lucas is my 53.
Yeah.
Hey, Ricky Morton stole that from him.
He sure did.
Yeah, them rabbit punches. Yeah, he was so good. He was so good. Greg and Victoria Hodge, Mr. Wrestling, Tim Woods.
Yes.
Glenn Allen Shelton said, happy birthday to Dennis Condrey. Happy birthday to him. I saw that today as well. Donovan Graham, Ox Baker, the Spuller, Mike, the California hippie boyette. Michael Hayes' favorite wrestler. What is the difference in the American and the Japanese sleeper hold? You'll have to let us know. Maybe one's real.
I don't think there's a tremendous amount of difference in them. You know, unlike Vern Gagne's chokehold.
That's right. I believe one is done in the United States and the other is done in Japan.
How do you put 50+ wrestlers before Frank Goodish?
Well, I think a lot of those guys would be higher if we were actually being able in their arena, and that's what as we get up into the list here, these are going to probably be more of the people we saw in person and got to see them on a regular basis.
Victor Nash, Tony Atlas, number 53, not 63. Let's see. TJ Burks is a great video guy. Yes, he is. We saw his work. Tremendous stuff. Sorry for calling your phone, Jack. Charles.
No problem, Skip. I had to turn it off anyway.
Charles Cooper said, Mike Jackson, fellas, one comedy match should be okay. You got to be very careful because one comedy match can turn into 12 if you ain't careful. That's just
everybody in the back could be going, hey, he got to do it.
Yes, right.
Right.
So you have to be very careful not to do that at all. The oldest guy is Chick Donovan.
Yeah, I think Chick and Mike are pretty close in age. So I talked to Chick not too long ago.
But he is still wrestling in North Alabama. Anita, Robert Gibson is still wrestling. Ricky Morton and Sting. Victor says Ricky Morton and Sting are the two oldest wrestlers. Nita
Sting
said,
and I are the same age.
Greg and Victoria said, good evening, guys. Chick Dolima must be in his 70s. That's what Anita said.
Yep.
And Michael Barr. Well, I'm going through this real quick because we're running out of time, but I want to get everybody in. Whatever happened to Alexander, the German wrestler from Germany that was in WCW?
Alex Wright, Das Wunderkid, retired when WCW shut down. He moved back to Germany. He was a banker for a while. He has his own training school and his own promotion called New European Wrestling, NEW.
Wow. There you go. I always felt bad for him because he came out there and danced. And I thought, man, this is going to kill him.
He's actually pretty good.
Him and PM News.
Second generation.
Yeah, he was good.
He was a great wrestler. He was a great wrestler. It's just that
get there, man.
that dancing killed him off.
How right you all are. It was our parents and grandparents taking us to watch the matches at the farm center. Yes. Tommy Rich is higher on my list from Victor Nash. And anybody that knows Tommy Rich in Atlanta, they would know why. He was one over guy. Only time I didn't like Tommy Rich was in the FBI and ECW. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Tommy Rich was an Italian from Georgia. At least Bad Bunny sold the F5 better than some of the full-time wrestlers. That's what Wendy Harkins.
That's true.
Michael Barr, back when I was younger, I wanted to get in the ring as I watched wrestling in person. I wanted to be a part of it. It was adrenaline. Yes, it was. Man,
that was the attraction, wasn't it? I think everybody wanted to do that. Get in the ring.
What's your thoughts on Ronda Rousey returning to WWE? Rodney, Jack?
I thought it was great to have her back. I hope they're going to use her as a heel because she sure is not putting any kind of positive vibe out there in any capacity whatsoever.
I think she's being real. Ronda Rousey.
I think it's great. I got again another name, a blast from their past, back again, and she's really not been out of the limelight, even if she's been out of WWE. So probably a great addition to theirs. And you always need the female version of Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Everybody go buy Pro Wrestling Tees and buy Pro Wrestling Inside and Out merchandise. Yeah,
thank you, Victor. You always take care of us when it comes to that.
I want to thank you so much. Michael, thank you so much for saying it's a great show. Thank y'all so much for being a part of Pro Wrestling Inside and Out. We certainly do appreciate it. We'll be back next week. We'll be talking top 100 wrestlers, man, and we'll try to stay on topic. Well, we started talking a little bit of passion. It's about the passion of pro wrestling. And that's what we have, is the passion. That's the reason we do this show. And that's the reason on March 18th in Knoxville, it's a passion for pro wrestling. And that's what we like to do. Rodney, any final thoughts?
I'm finished. For now.
Jack, any final thoughts before we leave?
Y'all just come out on the 18th. Don't get too close to the dressing room because you might be hearing my impersonation of Ole Anderson if things don't go well.
We'll see everybody next week right here on Pro Wrestling Inside Now.